Hello and welcome back to the Board Hoovian YouTube channel, and I'm just going to address it straight away. Yes, I haven't recorded on time this time. It's actually in the daytime, as you can see. It's currently Tuesday, so the episode came out 3 days ago, but I just couldn't review the Giggle on time purely because I just couldn't get my thoughts straight. The Buy generation, I mean, you can guess by the fact that it took me this long to record. I wasn't too pleased with it. I've tried to collect my thoughts and try and think about it more balanced, and here I am talking about it. So, the Giggle, what happens? Well, the Toymaker is back and brought in thanks to the Doctor last week, scattering that star at the edge of the universe. And in Doctor Who, you don't need reasons for that, but it's just I like that it's an element which is kind of punishing the Doctor for being clever, because I always like the punishing the Doctor and torture. And it's something I'll get into, how the Doctor is a punished character and a character who isn't allowed to get ahead of himself or their self. And yeah, and I like the linking between the episodes and that's caused this. And I also like the fact that the Toymaker hasn't gone straight to the Doctor. It's explicitly mentioned that since he's been brought into our universe and our reality, he's done other things. They bring in the invention of TV into it, saying that he's basically possessed Stooky Bill, which is a doll which appeared in the first ever broadcast thing on television. I like that. I like the way that the Toymaker's plan starts off, trying to make everyone crazy, and I love his explanation during the story, which is he's made everyone win, and then the Doctor goes, but that makes everyone lose, and he goes, it's a never-ending game, which is something which the Toymaker could only dream of playing, a never-ending game. And as someone who's never watched the Toymaker but kind of knows about the character, seeing it here, and I just liked it when the Doctor played the first game where Donna suggests, he's going to cheat, and they both react no. That the Doctor knows, he knows enough about the Toymaker to know if there's one thing the Toymaker wouldn't do, he wouldn't cheat a game. He honours the games and nothing else. There is nothing else he honours or respects other than the rules of play. We got Unit back in this episode. Did I like them? Yeah, it was alright. I thought it was nice to see Shirley back. It's nice to see her as a more kind of fixed member of the cast. That's Ruth Madley. And she's worked with Russell before, and we know she's going to be back in Series 14, Series 15, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, good to see her. And it's nice to see the scientific advisor get a really good, prominent role. As, aside from the Doctor, we don't really know who the scientific advisor has been, apart from the episodes The Planet of the Dead. And then when Osgood came in, and it's nice to see them have a prominent role, similar to Osgood, where it's just this is a permanent fixture of Unit when they show up. And great to see Kate back as well, and she actually had a quite better performance than usual. I like the moment where she went crazy, and it was damn, realising that someone who's even on our side can go that crazy that quick because of what the Toymaker is doing. Mel was back in this episode, and I did like how they kind of tried to really give Mel more of a character than the 80s ever did, showing that, she has no one back at home. I don't think they need to explain the whole Sublom Glitz bit about him dying, but, the actor did die recently, so I actually understand that, I kind of respect it. And showcasing that she was so alone, she just felt like it was time to come back, and she's found something for herself. And it's nice compared to Power of the Doctor, where the Doctor was kind of scared to approach Tegan and Ace for a little bit. When she first saw them, she was like, oh crap, I've got a conflict in my past, crap. And in this one, the Doctor was just happy to see Mel. And I do wish 13 interacted a bit more with Tegan and Ace at the beginning, and actually was just it's good to see you, and apologised a bit. But moving on with this episode, there's also the Vlinks at Unit. That is never explained. That did get on my nerves, and I'm not happy about that. But there's just this robot alien thing working for Unit and helping them, and it's not explained. And that kind of frustrates me. I'm hoping it somehow turns into maybe it's going to be a comment on AI, and be a villain in a future story. Who knows? But moving on, what did I think about the performances in this story? I thought David Tennant was fantastic as the Doctor. I thought Catherine Tate was brilliant. You can see her emotion running through in the stressful moments throughout the episode. I think the Toymaker, played by Neil Patrick Harris, is really good. I really like the Toymaker. And one of my biggest issues with the story is I think I wanted to see more of the Toymaker, not playing the games, but playing with the Doctor and playing with the characters and mentally screwing with them. Because we get a long sequence in the 1920s through the corridors, and when the Doctor and Donna are split, when he's playing with the Doctor, kind of toying with him for being clever, basically toying with the idea that he is going to be a puppet on his strings. And then with Donna seeing the scary little puppets, and that's a fantastic scene, because Donna just is in her, she absolutely could, just she kills one of them and then just scares the little baby dolls and runs out, and she's just owning it. I love Donna for that. One of my favourite scenes, actually probably one of my favourite scenes in the episode, is when the toy maker forces the Doctor and Donna to watch him do a marionette show of all the companions that have died since Donna left. And it's so great how the Doctor gives excuses, and then he's just going, well, that's all right then, yeah, you can't see any of these friends, but I guess it's okay if they're not dead. But like, these are all traumatic things that have happened, and it's him just adding those little excuses on, but these are tragic things that have happened to him, and it's so like, I just love, like, you can see what he's doing, because he's winding the Doctor up until he forces him into a game. And when he just stands up and is forced to go, I challenge you to a game, I just felt, I'm excited. And because it's halfway through the episode, you just know he's going to lose the game, and I feel like the Doctor was planning that. The Doctor knew if he wins, it's 2-0 and he's won best of 3, and if he loses, he still has another game. So the Doctor knew he had the ability to go for a game and just be able to play whatever he wanted. However, what he didn't know is he'd made his own rules by accident, in that one game was with one Doctor, one game was with another, meaning the third game, the Doctor would be forced to regenerate by the toy maker, and that's where his plan falls a little bit apart. One issue of the Doctor's plan that I don't understand is that he knows challenging the Toymaker to a game will stop anything he's doing and force them into the play. The Toymaker will drop everything and go, right, we're playing that game right now. And he knows really the only way to beat him is that, because whatever prize he demands, the Toymaker will follow it. So I don't understand when the Toymaker comes up singing Spice Girls. Why not? 10 seconds in, he just goes, I challenge you to a game. Because he waits so long to challenge him to a game. He's in the middle of challenging him to a game when he's shot and starts regenerating. And I will get to that. But with the whole Spice Girl sequence, I do wish when he comes back to unit that after the Spice Girl sequence there was more of a sequence with them looking for the Toymaker, and more of a sequence of him toying with not just the Doctor and Donna, but maybe toying with Shirley, toying with all of these characters, and they maybe were in groups and he was just mentally screwing with all of them and scaring them until eventually they all come through different doors and are on the helipad and he's got the beam. And one thing I will say with the Spice Girl sequence, it was great, it was camp, I loved it, and the little scene where he turns the 2 unit soldiers into balloons, like, yeah, that's just like, it like, body horror is something which I like in Doctor Who, and you can just, the raw scream, and then when the Doctor, like, Kate goes, what's happened to them, and the Doctor just immediately goes, sorry, they're dead, like, yeah, really like that. With them when the Doctor starts regenerating, I'll be honest, if you've seen my leak video, I knew the bigeneration was going to happen. I'd seen the leak, it's in that video, and I didn't really know what to think when I did that video, because it's just written down. I was like, I don't know how it's going to be executed. And on broadcast, I did not like it. That was my immediate instinct. One thing I will say is that it's good to see the characters themselves bounce off each other well. It's not something which is in the performance. It's something in the implications of what this means, and it's trying to understand what this means, because I don't think Russell's intentions match what's said, and I'll get to that. But Ncuti splits off from David, and from the minute go, Ncuti Gatwa is stealing the scenery. The way he challenges him to come, the way he kisses his teeth after like showing his tooth, like he's just like, yeah, I'm gonna beat you. And the funny thing is, I remember watching it and thinking, wow, and because obviously they challenged him to a game and they challenged him to play catch, and every time Ncuti caught the ball, I was like, oh, Ncuti's good at catching. And then I watched Unleashed, and it turned out, yeah, neither of them could catch at all, and we're just like holding the ball and going, oh, like, and I just thought, oh god, I think I'd have done all right. I think I'm quite good, but yeah, I really loved Ncuti as soon as he was in there, and he was in his pants, but who cares? He was amazing. Beating the Toymaker and forcing him to be banished from the universe. Then he says his legions are coming, and Russell has since said that this is true, and we're going to see other kind of gods or things like the Toymaker coming. I believe if we had the Toymaker, we're going to have some sort of musical god played by Jinx Monsoon. That's the thing I'm going to definitely say is going to happen. One thing I'm going to start talking about things I have an issue with. One, early in the story, he mentions that he defeated the Master, and I'm going to guess this is after the end of Power of the Doctor, whether he is clearly dying and trapped on the planet he's made, which is about to be destroyed. And I believe in that moment, he probably challenges the Toymaker to a game. The Toymaker comes to him, he challenges him to a game to save his life, and then traps him in his tooth. And at the end of the story, we find his tooth picked up by a random hand with red nails, which is pretty much just stealing a scene from 2007. It's Russell T Davies making a Russell T Davies reference, going, "Oh, do you remember?" Like, and I just think, I know he's brought David and Catherine back, but it's just like, you're setting something up the exact same way you did it before. Like, are we just going to have 2 words appear in every episode for the rest of the series? I don't know, but you're going to just do. I like, he's talked so much about new things, and it's kind of annoying me that he's done that, because it's like a wink and a nod, but it's also in the text and it's also on the screen. So like, the Master will come back this way, and I'm like, oh, for God's sake. But that was just me. That did just slightly irritate me. Now, with the bi-generation, my issue comes from the fact that David Tennant's Doctor is just there. He exists. Russell Davies has said that Doctor is parked. Like, well, Ncuti is travelling. And I don't know what to make of it, because there's 2 ways you can think about this, I think. One is that 14 is eventually going to turn into Ncuti and be transported to that moment. And that's something which I really like the idea of. The idea that the regeneration's gone wrong, and he's just going to get that time to get rehab, and then eventually be transported back to that moment. And, you know, I like that idea. I like that idea. The other thing is that this is now a separate Doctor. We have 2 Doctors, and that's that. That I don't like. And I feel like that's the one which Russell was going for, but it's the one which isn't in the text. Because you see 15 say to 14, you know, we're Time Lords, we're doing rehab out of order, I'm okay because you fixed yourself. So he comes after him, and because basically him being older than him doesn't really make sense, because, you know, they regenerate at the same time and both come out of it. But yeah, I like the idea that 14 eventually will become Ncuti. That's the one which I'm saying in my head to calm myself down after these few days. But 15 as Ncuti's amazing. The TARDIS scene, I don't know how to feel about it, because I think Rustler said it's the same TARDIS, but I'm like, yeah, but you know what you're doing in that scene is a bit odd. But let's just carry on watching. With the Doctor just ending up at Donna's and being a family man and stuff, and saying like he's never done this before, it's like he has, in brief. He was kind of having that with the Ponds for a little bit. You know, he had those 24 years with River, for Christ's sake. But yeah, I feel like the reason, the meaning behind this is he's just trying to stop the Doctor at that point, cut off all of the grief, all of the loss from the past 60 years of the show, and go, we're starting again. And I feel like he wanted to restart the numbering from the minute go and try to write a 3-part story to conclude it. And bringing back the face of modern Who, David Tennant, to conclude New Who kind of makes sense when you think about it that way. Like, yep, that is New Who, done. This is the new Disney kind of Bad Wolf era, which we are pumping everything into, and Ncuti's going to be the face of that. And I like that, and I understand the motive. If that's the motivation, I kind of do understand it. Apparently David gets 1 reference in the new series, and yeah, that's going to be weird. I'll try and do another video on bi-generation just to try and make sense of it, but this is just my overall thoughts on the story as a whole. I just wish the Toymaker was just screwing with them more. And I think the weird thing is, the whole bi-generation thing, the reason I think so many people have an issue with it as Doctor Who fans, is I think we are all just a bunch of sadists. Like, the Doctor is our favourite character, and the thing we want more than anything is for him to struggle, to go through awful things, and just be a terrorised character. The Doctor isn't allowed to be happy in our eyes, and we've seen the Doctor get a happy ending, and we're not happy with it. And I think that's right. I think it's fundamental to Doctor Who. Like, you look at Capaldi and what he says about the show. He thinks it's a show about death, and the idea that the main character dies, but the show has to go on. And we've had a regeneration where neither have died, he's fine, he's just going to walk away. And Russell's comments saying that all of the classic Doctors bi-generate in that moment, I go, no, please don't do that, that's awful. I don't like that. It's a time travel show, you don't need to do that to have the characters come back. But look, that's all of my thoughts on the episode as a whole. I think there are good things in the story, like the first 40 minutes I really like, and in the last 20 minutes I try and just look at Ncuti and try and forget Tennant's there, basically. But Ncuti's great in it. There is implications that Yasmin Finney's going to come back. I'd be absolutely fine with that. But the only issue is bringing her back means that we have to mention the elephant in the room. That is David Tennant, and that just kind of scares me because I want one thing without the other. But yeah, I don't know. It's another timeless childy thing where something very controversial has happened, and I kind of want to just pretend it didn't happen. But anyway, it's not going to change. Russell's writing Doctor Who now, and we just need to get on with it. And yeah, I'll be watching the Christmas special in a couple of weeks. Hopefully you will too. So yeah, that's it. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Comment below what you think about my opinions and your own opinions of the story as a whole. And the 60th, I'll probably do a 60th kind of overall review soon. And please subscribe if you haven't already. And don't forget to ding the bell for notifications so you never miss a single upload. I've been the Bored Whovian. I'll see you around.